The left hand, well documented. Kind of a half uppercut hook. Just a great punch.
Sa buong karera ng nag-iisang Pinoy Flash, Nonito Donaire, ay 2 beses pa lang ito lumaban sa ating bansa. Isa na rito ang tampok natin ngayong araw bago pa man maging Pinoy boxing legend at maging 4 Division World Champion ay sinikap munang gumawa ng pangalan at ipinakita muna ang tindi ng mga kamao bago tuluyang kilalanin ng mundo ng boxing.
Bebot, ikaw ang ating Filipino.
Kasama sa paghubog kay The Filipino Flash ang naging laban nito sa Araneta Coliseum nang idinipensa nito ang 2 korona kontra sa dayuhang Mexican-American undefeated challenger ang tinaguriang Cobra na si Raul Martinez. Binansag ang Cobra sa makamandag na mga banat nito at naging impresibo ang entrada sa pagpasok sa Pilipinas dahil sa bitbit na kartadang walang bahid ng talo nito. Kaya hindi biro ang hamon noon sa bagitong kampyon ng Pilipinas dahil nag-uumpisa pa lang patibayin at pausbungin ang karera ni Donaire sa mga panahong ito. Kaya masusubukan ng tikas ni Nonito Jr. sa isang dayuhan na may dalang banta sa kanyang pagiging batang world champion sa edad na 26 anyos at tila pressure kay Donaire ang pagsampa sa ibabaw ng lona ng gabing ito matapos manalo ng isa pa nating kababayan at isang mahusay na kampyon noon na main event nila.
On a Sunday morning, right-handed down goes the champion. Finally, the right hand.
Dahil matagumpay na nasungkit ni Hawaiian Punch Brian Viloria ang world title sa impresibong panalo via TKO. Kaya naman samahan niyo akong panoorin kung paano tinanggalan ng kamandag ang Cobra ng Mexico na si Raul Martinez ng nag-iisang Pinoy Flash, Nonito Donaire.
The champions in the red trunks, Cobra in the black trunks. And the question that comes up, he's 24-0, Martinez is, but is he ready for this stage yet? Looking at his resume, well, he certainly seems to think he's ready. We shall see if he can come down here and take the title away.
He's definitely a good young fighter, and this is a step up for him. There's no question about it. Comes in off a high, and Donaire pointed it out, because he got a first-round knockout victory over Victor Proler, who is an undefeated fighter. But you know, Nonito Donaire is one of the upper echelon, along with the D'Artagnans and the Montiel. He's way up there in these junior flyweight divisions.
First round scheduled for 12. Donaire is, well, both these guys extremely engaging, very hard working. They know what they're getting into. Dedicated themselves to the sport. And the one point I was talking to Martinez about is that when he came to the Philippines in the first couple of days, he was dropping so much weight. He was concerned because of the humidity. He lost 2 pounds. He was already down, so he had to start monitoring what was going on.
Yeah, he was very concerned about it.
With the right hand around the axis, Martinez is going backwards. Donaire's trying to take care of business. They had a little Texas two-step there. Going across the middle of the ring. Don't blink, folks.
Martinez made the point to us. If I can take his punch, it's going to be a very difficult night for Donaire. But even he had to say, that's the question. Donaire is a very powerful puncher. And always...
Oh, the left hook on the chin, and down goes Martinez. He's shaking it off. Did we mention the left hook? Yeah, we'll see what he's made of for sure now. Martinez down 2 minutes into the first round. Donaire stalking now. You can see the look of bewilderment on the face of Martinez. Back in the left hand again is Donaire. This is time when a young fighter has to suck it up and find a way to survive.
And those wild punches are not going to get it done for Martinez, because he'll put himself in the hard way of the
Got hit again.
If you press Donaire, that counter left hook will really hurt you, and that was the punch that did end D'Artagnan.
Down goes Martinez for a second time. Telling his corner, I'm all right. But boy, the power of Donaire quickly becomes evident. And you can bet they're listening for the bell over here in Martinez corner.
He said, if I can take Donaire's power, it'll be a long night for Donaire, but so far he has not been able to take his power. Left hand. So there it is again. You take a look at it. That created
the next great champion from these islands. And he had 2 knockdowns. Obviously, what, 7 rounds the first round. So we'll see if Martinez can react with the power that you were mentioning. And even Martinez talked about it. It's so obvious.
You know, Nonito Donaire has had a couple of wins since the win over Darchini. The last one, he had some moments where he won the fight handily and won a TKO in the 6th round. There were just moments where he looked a bit slow. But the problem is the left hand again. There's the power of Donaire, and that's my point. The power of Donaire is the equalizer. He can hurt anybody in his weight class.
He's trying to finish it early, Al. There's again the left hand. Martinez gets hit with the right. Martinez is just staggered. He's in big trouble. He's trying to stay away. Donaire wanting to put on a show on a Sunday morning here in the Philippines. The left hand, down goes Martinez again. Madrowski may have a decision to make if this continues. Martinez kept saying he's all right, and it's got to be a shocking situation for a guy that's undefeated coming in to be manhandled like this in the first 2 rounds.
You know, as Donaire was landing a left hook, Martinez actually landed a nice counter right hand, but Donaire's punch was so much more powerful. Donaire's taking a lot of risks and chances the way he's attacking Martinez, but Martinez has not been able to land that one big punch to push Donaire off it.
Down to the body goes Donaire. Martinez surviving so far.
Nice right hand by Martinez. Nonito Donaire is just throwing caution to the wind, and of course it's working because he's knocked Martinez down 3 times.
No fear whatsoever is what that's called. There's the left hand again. It's so powerful, Al. It just staggers him every time he even slightly lands it. It just gets him completely off kilter. Now he's trying to come back with a jab and show a little speed. Good right hand, though.
Let me tell you, Martinez found an overhand right, and he has landed it against Donaire because Donaire is throwing all caution to the wind. This is not the boxing Nonito Donaire, and Donaire's technique has suffered a little bit because he wants to take Martinez out. And so Donaire has to be aware of that overhand right from Martinez, as one-sided as this fight is. Look at right there, Donaire squared himself up just to throw that right hand. That's not the technique that normally Donaire would use.
Another hard punch at the end of round 2. Martinez wobbling back over.
For him. Now here's where Martinez landed that right hand just as Donaire was landing. Right hand did not hurt Donaire, and the left did he again in this fight. He's been down 3 times.
Round 3 scheduled for 12 from here at the Aranaka Coliseum in the Philippines. 3 knockdowns so far, as Al just mentioned. And Donaire was a right hand over the top, really throwing caution to the wind, wanting to take Martinez out and really put on a show for the local folks.
Martinez absorbing these monstrous punches. We said he's been down 3 times, but he is hanging in there. He's truly amazing. And the more he hangs in there, the more Donaire kind of takes risks to get him out. I'm not suggesting Martinez is going to take advantage of that, but he might.
I think Martinez right now is just trying to hold his ground and get himself resettled after being knocked down 3 times in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, he is. And
trying to find some kind of a groove to get into, get back into this fight.
Well, he found one weapon, and that's the overhand right. The more he can throw that punch, especially when Donaire is off balance and attacking, the more he might make something happen. But clearly, Donaire is...
Good combination. There's the boxer you were talking about, Al.
And Nonito Donaire, it's all about keeping his distance, keeping his balance, and landing those big shots from long range. That's what he does so effectively.
Once again, remind you folks, we're in the Philippines at the site of the Thrill of Manila, or not the Coliseum, back in 1975, and we've certainly had a thrilling fight card this morning.
A lot of fun.
Coming to you on a Sunday morning from the Philippines.
It's been great. Brian Valoria with a dramatic win over Ulysses Solis. And here we've had lots of action early in Nonito Donaire's homecoming to the Philippines.
Nonito Donaire has 3 knockdowns in the first 2 rounds. More cautious this round now.
Yeah, he's trying to use his technique and his combination punching a little bit more. He worked on his legs, biometrics, running hills, and he said he was having trouble with his legs. Didn't feel like he was strong enough in fights, and he's worked on that a lot and thinks that will help his stamina in fights as well.
Biometrics, huh?
Yep. I'm like Red Skelton. I don't explain them, I just tell them.
I get the running up the hills part. I like the way he's turned into the boxer here, showing his speed and combinations, and I think maybe Martinez is grateful too.
Well, you know, he realized he wasn't getting Martinez out of there, so he was taking those risks. So now you have to retrench and say, okay, I'm going to have to box this guy a little bit and land big punches. Small victory.
Yeah, he just stood his ground a little bit, no retreat in that round, and referee Pete Podgorski comes over and says he's got to show some defense and stay on his feet and be all right. You know, he's keeping an eye, obviously, on Martinez after being knocked down 3 times early in this fight.
You know, Martinez's plan was to get on the inside and work the body of them. He is not even come close to being able to do that. He felt like if he could work the body in the later rounds, it might slow Donaire down. But we haven't seen one body punch by Martinez yet. He hasn't been close enough. There he landed a good left hook.
Last 2 rounds, Donaire's gone back to working the jab, and there's the body punch out we're calling for. And Martinez may be able to find some sort of rhythm here and survive that onslaught he got in the first 2 rounds.
And Pete Podgorski did not, there's that counter left hook. He is so dangerous with that punch.
It certainly will put you on the defensive before you throw a right out.
Absolutely. You have to be really careful about how you're going to attack him.
Donaire continues to circle to his left against the right hand of Martinez. I think that's the angle he wants to come in with his left anyway. Just hoping Martinez will take the bait and throw that right, and he can come back with that counter left and goodbye.
And there was a right that missed by Martinez, but Donaire was not quite in position to throw the left hand. Donaire's jab, a very good one, and he's using it there. That's part of what makes this whole deal work. And there's the left uppercut again. And again, that punch is so good for Donaire.
Sort of comes from about 45 degrees, not straight up, but it's a twisting thing that when it lands, it's devastating. And he talked about his legs, you know, and delivering and sitting down on it. There's a big Martinez has had no answer.
What Donaire does in this, you know, the reach is about the same. He's got a couple inches in height, and he fights tall. Donaire fights tall. That's part of the reason what makes him kind of a bad matchup for some of the other people in his division. Is what helped him in the Darchinian fight, because he fought tall and was able to counter Darchinian as he came in. And it's one of his big advantages. That and the jab and the counter punching makes him a
There's the uppercut. Here's the uppercut. And the referee just ended the fight. Podgorski just didn't see Martinez doing anything at all. That's the 4th time he's been down. What about that, Al? He just stopped it right there.
Well, you know, that was an interesting stoppage. He didn't have it. He looked at it. This is his signature punch. Left hand is right. You know, he opens it up and goes into him. And it is a devastating punch. If anybody in this area or the use of the ball and he moves up to 118, it better be there. If he wants any dump down with it.
Let's go to the I was watching your feeling here. as I always say, it got in the ring. Nice moment. Two great guys. I couldn't emphasize that any better. Two great people. And Donaire, obviously the dominant fighter.
A referee in charge, Pete Bogorski, stops the contest. He is the winner by way of technical knockout and still the IBF flyweight champion of the world, the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire.
I knew that my punches, if it lands, because he sits on his punches, and I know that he's gonna be there when the punches come. So I know that if I hit him with it, it's gonna be something that's gonna hurt him.
You were able to land the left hand at almost any moment in this fight. You have a great left hook and a great left uppercut. Do you feel like that's your major weapon? And when you walk into the ring, you were always thinking about landing that?
Well, I have my left as well. I mean, my right hand as
You
well.
don't want me to insult your right hand.
Yeah. No, you know, I got him with some good counter punches with my right, and that set it up for the left hook because he was aware of not. He was aware with my right hand, so you know he knows of my left hook already, and my right hand was something that he didn't expect.